If you only had $100 to invest, should you invest in crypto? Well, the simple answer is yes. Usually, after that first question, there's another one that follows, and that is, what should I invest in? Some will probably say the next dog coin, the next cat coin, the next ETH killer, the next coolest, fastest thing that's going on in crypto. And those can be great and all and make you a couple of X's and maybe even 100X. But this is actually one of the worst things a new investor can do. And there are several reasons for this. I'll explain them later in this video. But before I spill the beans on the best investment you can make with only $100, I want to share a true story that happened to me in real life. Early in 2021, during the bull market, I happened to have an executive mansion that came up for rent, and the owner was trying to get it leased out. Yes, this was an actual mansion. It looked a little something like this. So I was that little guy over there. This mansion, it's massive. It's over 7,000 square feet. It's got an Olympic-sized swimming pool, two-story home, vaulted ceilings, movie theater, on a golf course, on a 1 acre corner lot, all the jazz. And this guy basically wanted to get this home rented. And I was like, look, dude, you got a couple of options. One, you can simply shoot for a longer term tenant. You would have less turnover and you would get a 1 year lease. You could probably get about $10,000 to $11,000 a month for this type of home. Or if you wanted to try the Airbnb option, this would be a more profitable strategy and could potentially bring around $30,000 to $40,000 a month. Obviously, depending on the going rates and if it was the hot season. Now, it really didn't take the dude long to realize that, hey, if I rent this out for 4 months out of the 12 months in a year, I would make more money with the Airbnb option than just a traditional lease. So I started marketing the property. The leads were so-so, from wanting to rent for a day to a week, maybe 2 weeks, and they typically had several different people and a bunch of different families, and we're probably just going there to party. And the owner was extremely worried about this. He didn't want parties, he didn't want damage to the property, he's never done Airbnb before, and he wanted to wait for the better leads or someone who would just be like a husband and a wife. But one interesting lead came across that had a really interesting situation. He said, look, I want to rent this place, but I can only pay in crypto. And if you take crypto, I'll give the owner more than he is asking for rent. Out of curiosity, I basically was just like, dude, what are your bags? What are you investing in? What are you looking at? He explained to me, dude, I just threw 20K at a dog coin called Satima Inu, and it turned into almost $10 million. I would show you some charts, but the token's no longer even listed on CoinGecko. This coin was basically a pump and dump, and I think it rebranded to another token. I don't know. I didn't invest in it, so who knows? And I simply just sat there and I was like, man, what gave you the conviction to throw that much money at a dog coin? He simply said, I had no idea what I was doing. I was in a paid Telegram group and it was one of the calls that they made. So I threw 20 grand at it and it turned into 10 million. So we chatted back and forth. I finally ended the call and the guy needed to rent a place fast. So I shared the lead with the owner and let him decide what he wanted to do. The owner obviously ended up renting to him because, well, first, he was getting more money because he was doing it outside of Airbnb. He didn't have the fees. 2, he was going to be a longer term tenant. And 3, it was just he and his girlfriend. So he sent over the crypto and I scheduled to meet with this guy over at the house. I looked at the guy's wallet address and sure enough, he did invest in some dog coins and a couple of other junk coins that are basically worth nothing now. It was just he and his girlfriend, and they were going to be renting the property. They both pull up in their own vehicle. One was a Ferrari and one was a dune buggy. And I was just like, wow, those are some nice cars. So I proceeded to give him the fobs and the passes for the amenities as well as the gate. And he then stopped and said, hey, can I get 2 more gate passes? And I basically just joked with him saying, what, you got more cars coming? He was like, yeah, I got 2 more. I gotta go pick them up, as well as a couple of art pieces from a show. And I was like, okay. I didn't have the passes on me. So I was like, dude, let me just come by tomorrow. I'll bring you over the passes so you can put them on the car. So I arrived to the house the next day to drop off the 2 passes. And as I got there, he was like, dude, wait, whoa. You gotta come check out the art I just bought. Each piece costs over 6 figures. And I was like, okay, I gotta see this. This man pulled out several cases of high-end bongs. And I just sat there thinking to myself, dude, why? Now, without going into detail on this, yes, it was an actual true story. Long story short, within a week after he left the home, he ended up being in jail with a DUI after being in critical condition, after wrecking his Ferrari, losing the millions, from buying frivolous goods, and from bag holding the dog coins. Basically, within a month, this guy went from having several $1,000s to his name, to millions, to being in critical condition in the hospital, with a jail cell waiting for him after surgery, with nothing. What's the moral of the story? Well, winning the lottery or making 100x on a meme coin is great, but it teaches nothing, and a fool and his money will soon part ways. There are 5 reasons why this didn't work out for him. First, getting those millions on that meme coin, this created unreasonable expectations. Thinking, hey, I throw 20K at something and it turns into millions. Let me just do this for everything. No, it does not work like that. And as soon as you do that, things are probably going to go to zero. Now, you may pick that one, but that will set unreasonable expectations to eventually where you'll lose. It's just like going into a casino. You might play the first hand of blackjack and you win the jackpot and win everything, but eventually if you keep playing the casino, they're going to have all your money. Second, the strategy is not able to be easily replicated. Why? Well, how do you know this meme coin is going to pop, or this one, or this one? He was in a Telegram group. They told him to buy this coin, and that's it. Who knows? The Telegram group probably thought, hey, look, the price target is $10. This thing's trading at $9. We're just going to sell at 10, but we aren't going to tell everyone. We're just going to dump on them. And it ended up going even higher than expectations. It's just a paid Telegram group. They aren't making money from the investments. They're making their money off the people paying for a subscription at the Telegram group. Third, this doesn't give a proper valuation of money. When you invest in a 100x meme coin or a 1000x meme coin and make all that money, you don't know what to do with it. Like, do I buy a Ferrari first? Do I buy a mansion? Do I buy another Ferrari? Do I buy a Rolex? Do I buy a yacht? Like, what do I do? Just as easily as the money was earned is as easily as it can go away. Fourth, this doesn't teach capital preservation. If you don't appreciate the money or understand the value of it, it's just going to fizzle away. A great example of this is the thermostat. When people are at someone else's house, they could crank down that thermostat to 60 degrees, 50 degrees. They don't care. It's not their money. It's not their energy. They don't care. However, when they get to their house, they're like, bro, it's 80 degrees outside. Let's leave it at 80 degrees in here. We can't be spending no bills. When you leave the bathroom, you turn the light switch off. When you leave your room, turn the lights off. I understand this isn't capital preservation, but what I'm trying to point out is money that's hard earned is going to be much more protected than something that is just given. The last thing 1000x meme coins don't teach is that, well, you can lose everything. Throwing money at a meme coin 100 times out of 100 times, it's probably going to go to zero. Why? Well, because once this meme coin pumps, why in the world is this meme coin going to pump again when we can simply just start a new meme coin from fresh and just pump it all over again? So in summary, the best investment you can make with $100 is in yourself and learning how these protocols work. Open up a MetaMask, open up a Trust Wallet, start using some of these different chains like Polygon, Optimism, Phantom, Arbitrum. You'll get a better understanding of the technology, how it works, what the next narratives are, where the capital flows go, and you can potentially even get some airdrops just for testing out these different dApps. When you understand the flows and inner workings of these different DeFi protocols, this will give you an understanding needed to figure out which projects will be the next Google, next Amazon, next Facebook, you name it. Let me give you an example using Curve dApp. Up front, Curve may seem like a simple yield farm. You throw in some stable coins or some stable assets and you just farm the token and dump it. But if you look at the charts on Curve, they actually tell a different story. There have been several times where Curve has dumped, pumped, and dumped again. And actually, recently, it's pumping again. As you can see on a 90-day chart, this thing is up almost a 3x from its lows. So obviously the market is seeing something else, and why not just move to another farming coin that is simply, well, just going to zero? Well, if you look under the Curve hood, there are several different revenue streams as a holder. You have protocol revenue from people using Curve and making different swaps. You also have bribes from other protocols bribing for incentives in order to direct liquidity for their pools. And you also even have revenue from airdrops from different protocols that are like, hey, yo, you're a curve staker. We want your blessing, so we're just going to give you some airdrops so your users like us. And maybe you can come and play with our dApps and share your money with us. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You also have the whole DeFi mafia like Convex, Frax Finance, Redacted, Alchemix, all these different protocols that offer levered plays on the Curve token and participate with the bribe and Curve wars. Now, this is just one example. There's several different examples in DeFi as well as in NFTs all throughout the crypto space. Just understanding how these different projects work will set you apart from the rest of the 99%. If you guys want to start your journey down the rabbit hole, just check out some of the previous videos that I made. That is my journey that I shared with you guys on YouTube as I was going down the crypto rabbit hole. I still can't find my way out. Maybe I'll just go in reverse and find the different breadcrumbs to get out. But if you already know about DeFi and understand this stuff and you're looking to see what I'm doing in the markets, you can join the private Discord with the Patreon link in the description below. But really, if this is your first time and you're still learning, I recommend you save the money, use it to test different protocols, and get a better understanding of how they work. Set up a MetaMask, set up a Trust wallet, play around with it, go on the chains with lower gas fees, and don't overinvest. Let's go and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 22, verses 7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is the slave to the lender. Be good, be righteous. Peace.